Okay. Welcome to Let's Talk with your host Khotso 33. Nginiphethe ke manje bafethu. Ngiyaqala ukuyenza lento, so don't worry. We are here. We're basically going to have a conversation about art and try and see how this economy works or doesn't work. We're trying to figure out what's up in the art world, And we are with our first guest here, Mr. Wisani Manyisi. Let's have him tell us a bit about himself.
As he said, my name is Wisani Manyisi, coming from Limpopo, in a small town called Malamulele. That's where I grew up. I actually did my schooling there up to high school. I used to really enjoy a lot of drawings, you see.
Yeah.
So in my late high school years, I actually was fortunate to meet some guy who told me that I can somehow even take art as a career,
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate that time, for me, the only art career I knew, it was a graphic design. I think I had about graphic design from generation,
Yeah, so, watching too much soapies.
Yeah, so those things, I was like thinking, okay, no, so this thing of art, I can do design. But I didn't know about visual arts because when I first came to UJ, they told me that graphic design is full. And I think it was applied a lot because of most people only heard about that from TV, and you can be like, how they glamorous things on TV.
Yeah.
So it feels like this will be a nice, cool career to do. So I actually didn't get space at UJ. I went to VETS. I was offered teaching. Then I actually went out. I didn't like being a teacher. I couldn't just think of myself just being a teacher, And then I went to VAL.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine art was available there, but my thought was stuck on just the graphic design. Then actually I went back to TUT to check. Space was full there.
You checked all these technical.
I checked, man. At that time I was using a train.
You were serious.
So I remember going to Funda, so someone told me that, but now that you didn't find space, you can just now do these things of art, And actually, since you didn't do art at school, maybe it might give you a bit of a background, in art. So I went there for 3 years, from 2010 until 2012.
What's that when you say Funda?
Funda Center, it's in Soweto, in Zone 6.
Okay,
I hope it's one of those art centers,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went there for 3 years, and after, then I went to TUT again. When I went to TUT, I first applied for graphic design.
Yeah.
So I went for interview, but later I got the regret letter, we regret
to inform you.
So just because they, I met Funzo was teaching us a theory at Funda.
Yeah.
So when I got rejected there, he said, but you can still find space in fine art. If you don't mind, you can come this side. I was like, okay. I went to try. And 6 months in, I'm like, but this thing of graphic design, I don't think is the thing that I really liked. The thing that I enjoy is this thing. But the problem, I didn't know that this could be a thing to study, or even the name fine art, it was just the first thing for me to hear about it.
So it's fine art.
Yeah. So that's how I found myself doing these things of art.
The journey took a lot of spiral turns and corners before you got to be the artist.
Yeah, no, it actually took long. If you can check the fact that I started engaging in art studies in 2010.
Yeah.
I studied until 2019.
Yeah.
And people might think I was failing a lot,
Yeah.
But not really, because I did 3 years at Funda, and then after another 3 years, diploma at TUT.
Yeah.
And then I did 2 years of BTech because I couldn't finish my studies in time. I actually cancelled other issues.
Life is real.
Yeah.
And so, me knowing your background is that now you are a teacher.
Yeah, man.
Crazy how it's back to where it started.
Man, it's funny. There's a guy who laughed at me when he heard that I'm a teacher, because I was with him at VETS when I actually said I don't want to be a teacher. So after BTech at TUT, I tried looking for a job, man.
Yeah.
To the point that even with my other friend, that guy had 2 degrees. We couldn't get a job. We removed qualification from the CVs.
Yeah.
For me, it was even fun. I didn't even have a driver's license, so my CV was just very empty. You know?
Hey,
after removing all those things, hey man, it was fun. Then I stayed the whole 2018 without studying. 2019, I went back to study PGCE to just become the thing that I ran away from, teaching. So
life is real. It's like ubungoma, you know, ngathi isangoma. When the art is calling you, you must answer.
Man, it's like there are things, and I always, as much as I'm not really into African spirituality, you see, but somehow with art, I feel like you can't run away from it. There are people who can draw.
Yeah.
Then there are artists.
Yeah.
Artists, it's not really a skill. Seems it's a kind of a calling that we have. Because when I went, even the time I'm studying art, I knew that, okay, this thing really will starve here. Hey. Noticing being in Pretoria there, people walking from CBD, going on main lane side for shows, coming back late, man.
Sometimes for the food and the wine.
You see now, I remember it was hard, man.
It was a journey. By the time you get back to rest, you're already sober up. You need to think about tomorrow again, you know?
Yeah. But for us, man, I've never been in a position where I was drunk.
You're lucky. You grew up lucky. That's why we are even having stone even there.
Yeah. No, this is inspired by me not drinking.
No. Okay, no. Moving on, let's think about the journey now. You know, since you studied, ended up making some art out, selling a few, you know. How has that journey been for you? Like, do you work with galleries? Do you just make from your studio? And do you still take part in competitions? That type of vibe. Like, when someone is listening, like, how do you sustain, you know, this journey that you describe as so laborious, you know? But you're still in it and you're still not backing away. You're still making your art.
I think, you know, but by the time I was in Pretoria, attending exhibition, like walking, I noticed that mostly black artists, I won't say black because most of the black artists, normally we don't have those privilege of going to university with a car, driving. So we don't have such things. So I noticed that there's a lot of, looking at my background, I realized there's no one to fund me, you see. So I decided to make a plan to fund myself. I think on my second year at TUT, I knew that I would have to be doing something. Now, I wanted to be a teacher. The first thing that I ran away, I'm looking at working hours there. I'll knock off early. I'll have school holidays, you know.
When with the children, when they are having holidays.
And also I think even from one of the classes, actually on BTech, one of the lecturers, Funzo, advised us that we can try doing even education just to make sure that you don't really starve or up, you know. Like such things, just to make sure that you can even buy art supplies, because hey man, it's hard.
Sure.
It's really hard. But now, the only thing that made me to stay, I noticed that I might starve, so I went to teaching to fund myself, you know. So I can also rent a studio, have a transport, you know.
So the mission is to have something to back up the art career.
But it's not for everyone. I've seen people who feel like having a job it's not good for them. They want to focus more on art. People are using different
methods.
There are people. There's someone who I remember Denzel was saying you shouldn't have a plan B, something to fall back on. But for me, I have I always feel like I overcalculate my moves. You see.
And maybe the plan B is a problem. We never know what Denzel meant.
Yeah. But for me, I think I don't want to move without knowing where I'm going, you understand? I plan and I know that if the things fall apart, because I don't control some of the things. So let's say I don't make it in art. I don't want to starve or even punish my family for my failures, you understand? So I try to work, make sure that they have a place to stay. I can feed them month to month, not to only rely on art. the dream is to be an artist. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes, to be an artist. But if it doesn't happen, man, we still have to live. Yeah. So.
Don't stop the journey, man.
No, yeah. So
it's a long one.
I mean, it's about making sure that you do what you love. And I think we had a lot of conversations with other artists where I expressed the feeling of being alone in the art, like you don't have anyone.
Yeah.
And then I give an example of having something to make sure that you maintain your art. I feel like it's more like having a lady that you love. As an African, you must pay lobola, you understand? It means sacrifice for what you love.
But you can use your art to pay lobola, That's where the conversation of what do you think how black people value art, since there's the system of lobola. Don't you think you can use that?
I've used
lobola.
I've used the art money to lobola. What I'm saying is, when you pay lobola, you need to work. You understand?
Yeah.
And what drives you to go to work is the thing you love. So for me, I went to teaching because I love art, not just because I'm running away from art.
Okay.
Because I love art and I wanted to stay in art forever. You understand? So I didn't want an instant where I'll find something that will take me away. So I actually have to think about what is it that I can do to make sure that I still do my art, rather than to find a job that will give me 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And then by the time I get home, it's 7.
Yeah,
and I
tired.
you see. So I thought of those things, and then obviously I was left with just teaching as an opportunity.
Another side.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you're gonna advance? Maybe get into logistics, other businesses? Investing.
Yeah. I think for all the artists, I think we do art because we love it.
Yeah.
We also make sure that art should be a business, but at the same time, we must have other investments that should you not make it in art sooner, then you still should be living, you understand? Because, I don't like the fact that people talk about artists as depressed people, you understand? Because artists are not making money now. I see sometimes after open studios, people are drinking their life after not selling.
And now they'll be in more debt. They'll have to fight Rita for rent.
Hey, man, most especially when the open studio is happening round about month end, you're thinking if I can sell 2 or 1 yana,
I'll be fine.
I'll be able to pay rent.
That's a tricky one, yeah.
By 4 o'clock, you see, no sales.
Okay, let's just dump that down by just getting you to tell us about your style and what do you think they might give them an idea of what it is? What do you make?
I make, I will call it imaginary or a surrealistic landscape. Somehow people might ask themselves, how can a landscape be surrealistic? But mostly, I don't make landscapes from pictures, you understand? I develop the land. I work on the land first, and then after build on the land.
On top of the land.
Yeah, and the idea there is to actually create a space where someone can just go there in that land and relax, Because I'm doing this because I noticed that most people we have issues, man. We can't speak.
Yeah.
We have issues we can't tell anyone, So sometimes